Hey, welcome back to Overhead Athletics. Today I'm joined by Justin. Justin's one of our stud baseball players. He's dealing with a little bit of minor nerve issues down the arm. And sometimes we're thinking about shoulder instability in cases of thoracic outlet syndrome. And sometimes we're thinking about anatomical abnormalities, whether that's congenital, whether that's a result of scoliosis, whether it's an acquired anatomical variation we see in our older throwing athletes. But in these younger guys, high school guys, a lot of times we're just dealing with some shoulder weakness that's leading to a little compression of nerve roots. In Justin's case, he's dealing with a little bit of Pectus Excavatum. So just basically the way his rib cage and sternum are formed, it goes in a little bit. And that changes the orientation of these ribs, which changes the orientation of pull of the pec minor. We know the pec minor comes up and pulls down on the actual scapula and rolls that shoulder forward. And sometimes that can actually impinge or compress upon some of these nerve roots coming through. So because he's had some difficulty with nerve tension testing, a little bit of pain during throwing, we're working on some of these things. So what we're gonna have him do is go here on his back. Now what we're looking at here with Justin is you can see that chest kind of dips in there. And what that does is that forces these ribs down into a more hooked position, and also it forces them into that downwards bucket handle action there where the ribs are actually depressed, which is in a constant state of exhalation. And as a result, what you see here, and if I move this pillow, is that the left shoulder is not too far off the table. It's fairly retracted. The right shoulder's a good distance away from the table. So that right shoulder is a good distance off the table here, which tells me it's anteriorly tilted, it's forwardly rotated, and then it's kind of depressed down. That ends up compressing down in the nerve roots, and that's why we actually push down on the clavicle when we do some different nerve tension testing. I shouldn't say nerve roots, but those nerves coming down through the thoracic outlet. One of the theoretical ways in which that can occur is pec minor tightness. Now that occurs from weightlifting and then some sort of abnormality similar to this. And so we'll give him some pec stretching and pec rolling, working through these pec fibers. And I'll do a little bit of manual therapy here as well, just functional massage, working through that pec minor, which is really not too comfortable for him and was less comfortable for him the other day. But he's gonna do some rolling with a lacrosse ball on the wall, hand an internal rotation and then an external rotation, or the arm an internal and external rotation, as you can see here. And then he's going to do some pec stretching. And when he's doing the pec stretching, we're going to add in a little bit of a shoulder shrug, which is going to help to lengthen that pec minor. And I can feel just how restricted it is just with my functional massage here. So we'll show a couple variations on how we stretch this, which opens up that thoracic outlet and gets rid of some of those thoracic outlet-like symptoms in these younger throwers that have overdeveloped pec minor and unstable shoulders. We're always working on shoulder stability with these guys. He's doing a lot of rotator cuff strengthening, and we're working on all aspects of upper extremity and core stability so that he's better able to tolerate the stresses of the throw. So I'm going to take a rolled up towel here. It's going to go underneath his shoulder, medial to the scapula. I don't want the scapula to pinch it. Is there any pinching there? No. So I put it medial to the medial border of the scapula. I'm going to drive him up into elevation, compress him down posteriorly. From here, while he's driven up, I'm going to push him posteriorly, tilt him posteriorly, and then I'm going to come down on his ribs and push his ribs down as they come up and are pulled up by that pec minor. Good stretch across the chest. Yep. He should get a stretch across the chest here. If we start to get numbness, tingling in the neck or the arm, we're going to relax. We can also do this in prone by pinning the front of the shoulder blade. As you can see here on the screen that we filmed the other day, we'll hold this stretch for a couple minutes at a time, and he'll facilitate this same sort of pattern at home. We need to make sure there's no impingement in the shoulder when we do it, and by opening up this chest, providing him with more scapular stability through serratus anterior, lower trap work, he's going to become much stronger. If you guys like this video, intrigued by thoracic outlet, dealing with it yourself, try these stretches and self-mobilizations out. Get access to a PT who can work with you. Subscribe to the channel because we'll post more videos on this in the future.